The fluorescent lights buzzed overhead as Maya Thompson pushed her cleaning cart down the empty hallway of Tech Solutions Inc. At 32, she moved with quiet dignity, her brown eyes sharp and observant behind wire-rimmed glasses. Most employees had gone home hours ago, leaving behind their mess and their whispered comments about the cleaning girl. "Look, it's our favorite janitor," CEO Rick Davis had sneered that morning, his voice dripping with contempt. "Maybe she can teach us about scrubbing floors instead of coding." His cronies had left, their cruel words echoing in the marble lobby. Maya had simply nodded, collected their trash, and continued her work. They saw a woman in uniform, nothing more. They missed the MIT graduation ring she kept hidden in her pocket. They overlooked the encrypted laptop she carried in her supply bag. Most importantly, they failed to notice how she lingered near conference rooms, how her ears caught every careless word about quarterly reports and creative accounting. Each night, after the building emptied, Maya made phone calls to numbers that didn't exist in any directory. She photographed documents left carelessly on desks. She waited, planned, and prepared for the moment when justice would finally have its day. 3 weeks later, Maya crouched behind the supply closet as Rick Davis spoke in hushed tones to his financial officer, Ben Carter. "The board meeting is Tuesday," Rick whispered. "We need those fake revenue numbers ready. If the investors see our real losses, we're finished." Ben nodded nervously. "What about the discrimination lawsuits?" 3 more employees filed complaints this month. "Bury them," Rick snapped. "Pay them off or fire them. Whatever it takes." Maya's hand trembled as she recorded every word on her hidden device. This was the evidence she needed. The next morning brought fresh humiliation. Rick cornered Maya in the crowded cafeteria, his voice booming for everyone to hear. "Hey everybody, look who's here. Our resident floor scrubber thinks she belongs eating with real professionals." He knocked her lunch tray from her hands, sending food scattering across the white tiles. "Maybe stick to cleaning up messes instead of making them." Laughter erupted around the room. Maya knelt to clean the spilled food, her face burning with shame but her resolve growing stronger. That night, her phone calls grew more urgent. "Tuesday," she whispered into the receiver. "Everything happens Tuesday. Are your people ready?" "We'll be there," came the reply. "Justice is coming, Agent Thompson." Tuesday morning arrived with electric tension. The boardroom filled with expensive suits and nervous energy as major investors from New York and California took their seats around the polished oak table. Rick Davis stood at the head, his presentation remote clicking through fabricated profit charts. "As you can see, gentlemen, our revenue has increased by 40% this quarter," Rick announced confidently. "Tech Solutions Inc. is your smartest investment opportunity." The investors nodded, impressed by the glossy numbers dancing across the screen. Suddenly, the boardroom doors swung open. Maya Thompson walked in, but she wasn't wearing her cleaning uniform. Instead, she wore a sharp navy business suit, her hair pulled back professionally. Her wire-rimmed glasses caught the morning light as she placed a leather briefcase on the table. "Good morning, gentlemen," Maya said, her voice clear and authoritative. "My name is Agent Maya Thompson, Federal Bureau of Investigation, Financial Crimes Division." She flipped open her badge, the gold shield gleaming under the conference room lights. Rick's face went pale. His presentation remote clattered to the floor. "I believe we need to discuss some irregularities in your financial reports, Mr. Davis." Maya opened her briefcase with deliberate precision. Audio recordings, photographs, and financial documents spilled across the conference table like evidence in a courtroom. "For 6 months, I've documented systematic fraud, tax evasion, and workplace discrimination at this company," Maya announced. Her voice carried the weight of authority that Rick Davis had never possessed. Revenue manipulation, falsified investor reports, and deliberate suppression of civil rights complaints. She pressed play on a small recording device. Rick's voice filled the room. Pay them off or fire them. Whatever it takes. The investors shifted uncomfortably in their leather chairs. Rick's hands shook as he reached for his phone. Don't bother calling your lawyer, Maya said calmly. Federal agents are already securing your offices. As if summoned by her words, the boardroom doors burst open again. 6 FBI agents in tactical gear entered, led by Agent Sarah Collins. Rick Davis, you're under arrest for securities fraud and civil rights violations, Collins announced, handcuffs clicking around Rick's wrists. Ben Carter tried to run but found himself face-to-face with another agent. Maya stood tall, watching the chaos unfold around her. You saw a cleaning lady and assumed I was nothing. You forgot that dignity isn't determined by your job title, and justice doesn't care about the color of your skin. 6 months later, Maya Thompson sat behind the CEO's desk, reviewing applications for the company's new diversity and inclusion program. The investors had restructured Tech Solutions Inc. Under new leadership, appointing Maya as Chief Executive Officer after the federal investigation concluded. The same cafeteria where Rick had humiliated her now buzzed with respectful conversations between employees of all backgrounds. Mandatory sensitivity training had replaced the toxic culture of mockery and discrimination. Maya's former cleaning cart had been transformed into a symbol of perseverance, displayed in the lobby with a plaque reading, "Never judge someone's potential by their circumstances." During her first company meeting, Maya addressed the entire staff. Real strength comes from lifting others up, not tearing them down. This company will succeed because we value every person's contribution, regardless of race, position, or background. The employees who had once laughed at her now worked under policies she had crafted, policies that protected dignity and promoted equality. Justice had prevailed, proving that sometimes the most powerful person in the room is the one everyone underestimated.